Next, please join me in welcoming Michael Dubin, founder and CEO of Dollar Shave Club, and Courtney Reagan, retail reporter at CNBC.
I'll invite you back to my place. It's only mine because it holds my suitcase. It looks like home to me, alright. But it's 100 miles from yesterday night.
I forgot that you could pick your song when you come out.
That was your song? That was what you picked?
Yeah, Man in a Suitcase by the Police.
Oh, okay. All right, I would have gone with Taylor Swift, but
That was my
no
second
judgment.
choice.
Okay, cool. Well, nice to see you,
for
Michael.
having
I'm going
me.
to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about Dollar Shave Club so that everyone here knows what Dollar Shave Club is if you're not already a subscriber. So go ahead and start with that.
Sure. So Dollar Shave Club started to solve a big problem for guys, which is the annoying, frustrating, primitive experience of going to buy razors at the store. So you have to find the razor fortress. It's always locked. You have to find the person with the key. They're always texting somebody and not being very helpful. And then you have to get to the line, and then you have to pay a very high price. And so Dollar Shave Club launched with 3 great razors, very affordably priced, shipped to you either every month or every other month. Since then, we've garnered 3+ million members that get a shipment from us every month or every other month, and we've moved on to solve other problems for guys as it relates to their larger grooming regimen. So we now have 20 grooming products, non-razor grooming products, and 5 lines for washing, styling your hair, pre and post shave, and then One Wipe Charlie's, our fabulous butt wipe for men.
So razors and these different sort of cleaning products, I mean, they're all commodity-based products.
Yeah.
So isn't there a danger in someone else just coming in, replicating the model, or saying, I can't figure out when I need a new razor, I just need to run to the local CVS? I mean, why commodity products? Why is this working?
Yeah, so I think that what I always think about, I'm a brand guy, and I really believe that brands matter and that they win. And I think that what we're doing for razors is very much what like Starbucks did for coffee. Which before Starbucks, what was there? There was Folgers, there was Maxwell House, it was frozen, it was terrible. And then Howard Schultz came along and said, wait a second, this is actually an important part of your life. This is something that's very special to you and something that you do daily, and that deserves a culture and deserves a ritual and deserves a lifestyle around it. And so now we have Starbucks, and now we have a zillion other kinds of coffee houses out there, and it's impossible to think about getting a cup of coffee from anywhere but one of those places. And so when I think about what Dollar Shave Club is doing, we're not the first company to ship razors on the internet. We're not going to be the last company to ship razors on the internet or men's grooming products on the internet. But what we're doing differently is we're holding guys' hands, we're speaking to them in a really resonant voice, and we're helping them decode their grooming lives, which is pretty difficult. If you take your hair cream, for example, if you're a guy trying to find hair cream, you're either getting a recommendation from a friend whose hair is nothing like yours, or you're getting a recommendation from a barber who has a limited selection, or you're trying to figure this stuff out in store. And all the stuff on the shelf kind of looks the same. They're all using the same esoteric language, and there's nobody there to kind of like ask you who you are, what you need, and how to give it to you. And so guys want to get in and get out and get on with their lives, and we make that really easy to get the products that they need so that they don't end up with this graveyard of products that they're not very happy with.
But Starbucks arguably created a whole experience. No offense, you're not necessarily creating that same experience when you use them as a comparable. So what's keeping someone else from coming in and just doing exactly what you do, getting razors from the same vendor?
Yeah, I think it's funny that you mentioned the word experience, because that's exactly how we think about building Dollar Shave Club over the next few years. We want people, building a business used to be about the 4 Ps: product, place, price, promotion. And now you have to build an experience. You have to invoke emotion. And so the way we think about designing Dollar Shave Club, from the very first time that you get a shipment, from the very first time that you see an advertisement, all the way through the box experience that you get each month. This is not just a razor haphazardly thrown into a box. We have content that comes in the box each month. We have a magazine called The Bathroom Minutes, which has bigger circulation than some of the world's biggest magazines. 3.1 million people are getting this magazine from us every month, so that's a pretty big circulation. We've invested heavily in an online content platform called Mel. We'll be weaving that content into the Dollar Shave Club platform over time so that each time you come back to Dollar Shave Club, which we want you to do daily, we want to make this a part of your daily life, not just in the bathroom, not just in your mailbox, but online. So if you think about where Dollar Shave Club is going over the next 2-3 years, we think of it very much as an experience that's induplicable.
And so what's your retention rate like? I mean, it's a subscription, so how many people stick with it and for how long? What's average?
Yeah, so we've been around in the modern era since we launched our video in March of 2012. So we've been around since March 6, 2012, and the average, so it's about 4 years, and the average member tenure is 3.2 years, and obviously that'll get longer as time goes on. So we believe we have best-in-class retention. People stick around, and they stick around for reasons that you know, obviously the products have to be great, otherwise they wouldn't stick around, right? But they're sticking around because they really feel like they're part of something. You know, if you bump into somebody on the street that belongs to Dollar Shave Club, or Dollar Shave Club comes up, they'll say, "Oh, I'm a member." They don't say, "I'm a subscriber," or "I get those razors." They really feel like they're a part of something, and that has everything to do with how we've rolled out the brand.
Is it men that are initially signing up for it, or is it wives and girlfriends that just don't want to keep buying all these razors in the stores?
It's overwhelmingly men. I mean, this is why Dollar Shave Club's successful and going to be successful moving forward. Men want control over this area of their lives. They used to cede that control to somebody else in their household, or they used to just kind of grab something off the shelf, maybe a Pert Plus, maybe an Irish Spring, because to them soap was soap. But guys are evolving in a very big way. I mean, we're 5-10 years behind Asia and Europe in this way, but American men are really starting to pay a lot more attention to what they put in their hair, on their skin, on their body, because they recognize the connection between what you do to yourself in the morning before you go out and how confident and how successful you ultimately are. And so guys are recognizing this more and more, and we think not only is the size of this wave increasing organically, but we believe we're the brand to increase the size of that wave because we speak with this really, you know, resonant voice, this very accessible voice to guys, which is sometimes my voice. You know, we're your best friend in the bathroom. That's why we've gotten guys to change their behavior. We've done it in shaving. So before they joined Dollar Shave Club, I think 28% of guys were changing their blade once a week. Now 68% of guys are changing their blade once a week. When it comes to, I mentioned One Wipe Charlie's, which is, you know, for some people kind of a joke product. It's not. It's a very serious, life-altering product. As we like to say in the office, great things happen when your ass smells fantastic. And men recognize
No
this.
shit.
Yeah. Nice. Nice one.
Thanks.
But I mean, look, I've had guys come up to me in airports on conference calls and stop what they're doing. You know, hold on one second. Hey, I got to tell you, I love these wipes. And he unzips his thing and opens up the pack and shows me his travel wipes. I had a guy swim up to me at a conference in Hawaii and tell me, like, I have to thank you. My girlfriend made me buy these because she said I wasn't doing a good enough job, and it's changed our lives. I hope you've all eaten breakfast this morning already. So anyway, but 44% of guys that were using a wipe that are using One Wipe Charlie's didn't use a wipe before. So, you know, this is the power that we have to change guys' behavior, and we're doing it all throughout the bathroom. So yes, guys are the ones making the purchase.
Very interesting. So then moving away from the bathroom and more to the wallet, let's talk a little bit about pricing. So you're offering content, you've got wipes, you've got other products. Are you going to be able to keep prices where they are? Is shipping getting more expensive? How do you play with those numbers to make it work for an economic business model for you?
Yeah, so you know, everybody that's in an e-commerce business knows that shipping prices go up over time. So far, we haven't had to raise prices. We hope to keep them flat for as long as possible. You know, but we do feel like we're providing an incredible value for our guys because you're not just getting, you know, a razor or your shave butter or your Wanderer body wash.
And so what about shipping? How do you deal with that? Which carriers do you use? It is a constant negotiation.
Yeah, I mean, look, we just brought fulfillment in-house, so now we have one center that's operational in Torrance, California, Southern California, that services everything west of the Rockies, and then we have another one that's opening up in Ohio later this year, a couple months from now, and that allows us to pick up some margin, and then. In terms of shipping, yeah, you're always negotiating with these guys as your volume goes up. I mean, it's you can negotiate a better rate, and we use DHL and the U.S. Postal Service combo.
And so there's a lot of VC money that could be available, but there's also a lot of folks that want that money. They want the investment. Can you talk a little bit about how you're funded, what you're needing to show your investors to keep them interested in the returns that you're providing and not go somewhere else to a newer product, a newer subscription model, a competitor?
Yeah, so we've raised about $160 million so far from mostly VC private equity guys, and I feel very lucky for the people that we've found and brought to the table because they're very tolerant, they're very patient, they believe in my vision for the brand, they support our management team, and they're not looking for a quick exit or an immediate return. They're long-term holders. I mean, some of our investors were some of the earliest investors in Netflix, and they still are today, even though it's a public stock. And there are many examples of that. So I feel like I have a very warm and collaborative relationship with my board and my larger investor pool. I do not feel like I have to make decisions based on packaging this company up for the right kind of exit, whether that's to a private company or to a public company. I mean, both of those paths, frankly, mean very different things themselves, but they mean very different things for running a private company. I mean, the freedom that we have at Dollar Shave Club to innovate and do new things and invest in a content platform, those aren't necessarily things that, I mean, you'd get probably slayed in the public markets for taking risks like that don't show immediate or near-term, medium-term returns.
So are you interested in going public at some point?
I mean, put it this way, it's not on our roadmap right now.
Okay.
I don't think I was put on this planet to be a public company CEO, but it's certainly a fascinating path, and if that's what's best for Dollar Shave Club and growing the brand the way we want to, I'm excited to do it.
What does your profitability look like? Is there one?
Profitability is fully within our control.
Okay.
So we choose growth.
You choose growth. So you're not profitable yet. At what point do your investors need you to be profitable?
Put it this way, by fourth quarter, we can choose both.
Okay, all right, fair enough, fair enough. And so is there any point when you look down the future of Dollar Shave Club where it would be appropriate for you to step aside, to get new vision, new perspective? I'm sure you've heard not all founders are the best CEOs, not all CEOs are good founders.
Well, that's why I'm here today. I'm out.
You're out. This is it?
No, I don't know.
That would have been such a good scoop.
Yeah, I know.
In front of everyone.
A nice surprise. Listen, I started this company in 2011 in my apartment. I've led this company, to where we are now, which is, we did $4 million in revenue in 2012. We'll do $240 million this year. We've doubled in size. We have almost 180 employees right now, and at every point in this company's life, I have been, engaged and excited to take that next step, and the same thing is true right now. I mean, it's one thing, and anybody that works at Dollar Shave Club will tell you, and that's been here since the beginning, running a company that's 20 people is very different from running a company that's 75 people, that's running a company that's, 200 people. And, anybody that's run a company will also tell you that it's really hard to get through some of those transition periods, and we're certainly in one right now. But at each point, growth has been what we've promised it would be. We've made it to the next stage, and I keep getting more excited about the things that we're going to do next. And I would say that it's still early days for Dollar Shave Club. I feel like we're in the first quarter. I feel like we have so much that I want to do in terms of rolling out this brand, and taking big swings. And I want to keep doing that for as long as, they'll have me, which probably means as long as we keep hitting our numbers.
Have you been approached by Unilever, Procter & Gamble, anyone interested in buying your company?
Let's just say this. If I did, I certainly wouldn't say if I had been on this stage.
Oh, no, you don't want to share that? Well, what about all those people that need advice when Unilever comes to them and Procter & Gamble comes to them? What would you say?
I would say
Entertain the offer?
talk to some people that have been approached by those guys.
So what are some of the biggest challenges right now? I've heard that talent is a really, really big problem for anyone operating in any kind of e-commerce platform, getting the best coders, the best engineers.
Yep.
Is that a challenge for you? And if not, what are your biggest challenges?
I'll say this, it's gotten easier. It gets easier as you get a little bit bigger and your profile increases. So when I started in 2011, I keep saying 2012, but we started in 2012 because that's when we launched the video and that's when we really launched with the kind of modern vision. And I started the company in Los Angeles. Things were tricky. Finding great developers, finding great product development specialists. Of course there were some people there, but it was very competitive, and it was hard to keep a fresh out of school, kid from Cal State. He or she would be getting, $125,000 a year, right out of school, to go up and sit on a beanbag chair at Facebook, and
Right.
that's hard to compete with. And I'm sitting there trying to convince these people, no, we're gonna take on the biggest, a functional monopoly in the razor space, and we're gonna win. It's gonna be great. It's a hard sell.
Right.
And then afterwards, so as time goes on, people realize that your business is a real business, and that you do have a really, that you've changed an industry, and that you're on your way, and they want to be a part of that. So it gets easier, but it never gets easy. There's always great businesses out there, and ultimately this comes down to the, for very senior talent, it comes down to the job of the founder or the CEO to go out there and make your case to people, to the senior-most talent, because ultimately they are going to be the ones to go out and build, the rank and file, the rest of the company. So I always look for people that have the ability to tell the story as well as I can, because, everybody's a recruiter. Everybody has to be a recruiter at Dollar Shave Club. When you're out at a party, you're talking to friends, you got to be recruiting. When you're at a conference like this, you have to be recruiting. And it's hard. It never gets easy.
What are other challenges? If that's gotten easier, what is your biggest challenge?
Right now, I would say scaling. Scaling is our biggest challenge. Scaling the organization. So, I get the question like, oh, what's your culture like? And, is Dollar Shave Club a really fun place to work? And blah, blah, blah. And I always, culture is a tricky word for us, because I always interpret culture as, do people have the resources they need to do their jobs? Do they feel like they're fulfilled in the mission? Or do they feel like are they bought into the mission that you're trying to achieve? Do they feel like they're supported by management in their careers? Do they feel like they're having an impact? Do they feel like they're being recognized? Those things get progressively harder to do as you scale the company. And when you're, like I said, when you're 20 people, 20 talented people sitting in a room together, and you can overhear everybody's conversations, and you can just shout to people, your thoughts. You can make decisions. You can get, your bad habits, you can hide them. As you grow and you add layers to an organization, you bring in really talented people at other levels. You can't hide your bad habits anymore, and you have to build process. And we were very fortunate to think that to know early on that we were going to go through this transitional phase, and bring in some really talented help. So we hired a chief people officer from Coca-Cola, who also had some small company experience, and she has helped us transition our org from a small company to a big company. But that's not easy, and not everybody sticks around for that journey. But it's but what's really comforting is that every company that gets to where we've gotten goes through this. This is not unique. We will get through this. We're getting through it, and the business performance is still rocking. But I do believe that organizational health is the biggest competitive advantage that you can have. It's, of course you have to sell great products because then you don't have any customers, but your ability to run a healthy organization is the thing that you should be focused on.
What was the best mistake you ever made?
The best mistake I ever made, wow, in life or in business?
Well, let's talk about business. We can do the life part later.
Oh man, I wish you had told me that you were going to ask me that.
I never tell you what I'm going to ask
The
you.
best mistake I ever made. There's really no great answer coming here.
Okay. All right. Well, when you think about it, tweet it out. And
Yeah,
share it.
I'll tweet it out. What's the hashtag here?
I think Shop Talk 16.
Shop Talk 16. Okay,
Yeah.
I will tweet that out later. I haven't tweeted in 3 years, but I will tweet
Okay.
that.
Practice today.
Okay, I will.
Okay. You just
Thank
need
you.
140 characters. It's not real hard.
All right.
Okay. I guess then final question. I think we're out of time. Is anyone allowed to have facial hair at Dollar Shave Club?
Yeah, I am too.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a dirty little secret. Guys don't like shaving.
No, I know. All right. Great. Well, thanks, Michael. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael and Courtney.